Hi everybody, this is Kristen from A Voice and a View, here to do another video. Still here. It's been a while since I've been on, but got a lot of changes happening and took a little break. So today's healing lesson is called Humiliation Rituals. So this is going to be a little interesting of a video. And many of you may not believe this exists or that happens, but it definitely happens, and it's happened throughout my life. And Spirit told me that others could see my light ever since I was young. I didn't know I had this light to me. I had no idea. But others could see it, even though I couldn't. And when you are at a lower frequency, when you have a lot of dark energy attached to you, and when you have not gone through the healing process of opening up your chakras, and I'll show you how to do this at the end of the video. When you haven't gone through this process, you stay in the lower self, okay, in the lower chakra area, from the solar plexus on down. And others can see your light, and because they have not gone through the healing, they can be intimidated by your light, okay, because you're a mirror to others. And if they can see the light in you, that you've activated your light, they are going to be uncomfortable around you. They are intimidated by your light. This journey is spiritual, guys. It's, we're in spiritual warfare. And when you're just, when you're just living down here, okay, and you don't have a spiritual connection with God or Spirit, you're not going to see this. You're not going to see these things happening around you. You're going to stay stuck in the lower self and just think that that's all there is down here, is just to be down here and live your life and go day to day. But there's so much more. Okay, but when you have more light activated within you, you will probably have to deal with humiliation rituals. And I had no idea that these situations were happening to me for so long. I've had a lot of bad experiences in my life. Not understanding others, not understanding myself. But it started out as a kid when I was targeted. I was bullied, a lot throughout grade school. And some throughout other periods of my life. And not just from kids, from adults. But I wanted to explain some of these humiliation rituals, and many of you might be going through these situations now. And you might think that there's something wrong with you. You might think that, you're different and you don't fit in, and you might feel like you don't deserve all these behaviors from others. And it's true, you don't deserve them. I didn't deserve them. But when you have more light activated within you, sometimes these humiliation rituals can get out of hand. Okay, so I'm going to explain some of the situations that I've been in. So I'm going to start out with, well, I'll start out with this one. So my daughter and I and one of her friends were in a smaller bar, and it was karaoke night. And a lot of other people were up on stage singing and dancing and being loud and clapping when people were done. So I get up on stage, and the minute I started singing, and it was pretty quiet at this point, the minute I started singing, all of a sudden everybody started just being loud and hooting and hollering and clapping, and I'm like, what is going on? So I'm watching all of this happen, right? I'm seeing the situation. I'm trying to sing this song, and all of a sudden everybody turns to the bar, and the bartender jumps up on the bar and starts doing body shots. And everybody was just as loud as they could be. And I was awake at the time. Not all the way awake, but I was pretty awake. So I didn't catch on to it right away. But shortly after I started singing and all this was happening, I knew what was happening. I was going through a humiliation ritual. So I'm still singing. I sang the whole song, but I'm still singing and trying to sing louder because it was so loud in there. Excuse me. It was so loud in there. And they kept doing body shots off the bartender. And by the time I got done singing my song, it was like the scene was done, right? They stopped as soon as I was done singing. They started it exactly when I started singing, and they stopped exactly when I stopped singing. Okay, it was like a scene in a movie, right? Like you're on set, and your director says, "Okay, action." That's what it was. The timing was impeccable. I'll give him that. So when I walked off stage, nobody clapped, nobody did anything. Nobody was dancing, nobody was sang a word. Except for my daughter and a few other people in the bar. There wasn't very many people that didn't clap or be loud in that big group of people. Okay, but it was like I wasn't even up there singing or whatever. But I walked off stage and it was like total silence. And I knew that this was happening. I had just learned about this. I wasn't expecting it, that's for sure. But I knew what was happening. They were trying to embarrass me. They were trying to humiliate me in front of the whole bar. And I wasn't even there to drink. I think I may have had one drink. It was mainly because I wanted to sing, and my daughter and her friend loved to sing as well. And I've sang karaoke my whole life. So I knew what was going on. And they made it very apparent. They made it obvious that they wanted to humiliate me, because everybody before me and others right after me, they got clapping and cheering and everybody was dancing, and but that's what happened to me. And I know others are going through this. The light workers. There's so many light workers here right now on a different frequency, because as you awaken, going through this great awakening journey, you activate your light and you work through your chakras. You let the darkness off of you and you activate your light, and your energy is on a different frequency, which can sometimes intimidate others that are in the lower frequencies, that are in the devil energy. Because when you're in the lower self, you are in devil energy. But if you are in the higher self, you are in the heavenly energies, connected to God. Okay, God is inside of you and working through you, not somewhere separate. Not somewhere out there above you somewhere. Okay? It's been a lie this whole time, guys. Religion is a lie. You have your lower self and your higher self, okay? And I didn't know this as well for a very long time because I grew up Catholic. But I didn't understand that religion. I didn't understand the rituals of kneel, sit down, stand up. Kneel, sit down, stand up. Kneel, sit down, stand up. And going to communion and listening to the pastor or priest talk about the body and blood of Christ. The body and blood of Christ. That creeps me out, guys. If you understand that statement, that is more of a ritual of the opposite energy, if you know what I'm saying. No, thank you. So, I'll give you another example of a humiliation ritual. And this also has to do with karaoke, guys. And actually, this happened before the other incident, but... So, I went to a weekend event, and they had karaoke there. They had a stage. And I get up to sing. And by the time I got done with my song, I went to walk off the stage, and it was, nothing. No clapping, no anything. No sounds at all. And at the time I was not awake, so I didn't understand what was happening to me. But same situation. They were trying to humiliate me on purpose. And now I see that. But after I get off the stage, I'm like, okay, whatever. I was already having issues with this group of people. And I know it's not one-sided, guys. Whoever's watching, I get it. There's always two parties involved. I get it. But, yeah, I was pretty humiliated because everybody else was getting cheers and claps and having fun, and, it was just me that was being ignored on purpose. And right after I got done singing, my daughter gets up there. And my daughter's an amazing singer. She's sang her whole life. Or she's been singing her whole life. And she got a standing ovation. She got claps. She got cheers. Hooray! Which is amazing because I was clapping too. My point being is that when others can see the light within you that they haven't activated within themselves, they can be intimidated by you. They can be jealous of you. It shows the healing that they have not done within themselves, because everyone's a mirror. And that happened to me on purpose. And I was very hurt at the time. Now I don't care. But just to give you another example of the humiliation rituals that you might have to go through in this process, because you will be on a different frequency. And when you understand frequencies, guys, it's like a radio station. Okay? Turn your radio on, your Wi-Fi. You can't see it, but it's there. And it operates your electronics. Okay? We are electric beings. And when you're on a different frequency, when you're on a different Wi-Fi channel, when you raise your frequency enough and activate the light within you, activate your third eye, your pineal gland area, you will be on a different frequency into the abundant energies, because you will have released a lot of trauma off your bodies, inside and outside of your body. And you come back to God. Just like a baby. A baby doesn't have the layers of trauma attached to them. But as they grow older, they attach layers to them of darkness, of dark energy. But it is our responsibility, and for all of us, to go through this healing process to come back to God. To get the layers of heartache off of us. Okay, because the more you do that, the more you come back to God. And the more peaceful you will become. The less triggered you will be, the less anger and resentment and frustration and all those negative feelings, okay, won't be so prominent. You won't feel a lot of those negative energies anymore. Revenge, the dark energy, because everything is light and dark energy. We are all both. But if you're working more from your ego instead of your heart, because you have to balance out both, everything is balance. If you don't balance out your energy, then you are working more from your ego. And your ego can control you. Your ego can push you into things that you may not want to do. Thoughts come up in your head, and we're not our thoughts, guys, but your ego will try to make you do things, will make you think things, try to get you to do things, depending on how angry you are, or in those negative energies. But once you balance your ego and your heart, you work more from your heart. And you're more generous and giving. You help others. You're happy for others that are doing well in life. And you're not acting out of revenge or nastiness. Or try to one up on somebody. Or you have to be better than everybody else. Okay, that's the difference between the lower self and the higher self. But the humiliation rituals can sometimes be big situations or small. I've had a lot of smaller ones, let me tell you. Here's one. Well, I don't know if this would be a humiliation ritual, but It's others that are living in the lower self that are triggered by you, okay? Because they can see your light. Because this is spiritual, guys. The people behind the mask. When a lower spirit that's hiding behind a mask looks at someone that has more light within them and that they're on a different frequency, they know. They definitely know. So here's an example. I've had many people in grocery stores walk by the ends of the grocery store aisles and didn't know the people, had no idea who they were, and just look at me and give me the nastiest looks. Like they just hate me beyond, you know. And some have gone beyond that with their actions as well. Their behaviors, their but this has happened to me so many times. Like, I don't even know these people. And they just give me the nastiest looks, like, you know? It's like, wow. Things like that. You know, I've had people flip me off out of nowhere. Like, I'm just driving along, not speeding, not doing anything, just minding my own business. And certain individuals will ride alongside my car and just, you can tell they're pissed off at me and talking or yelling, and they're flipping me off for no apparent reason. I had one guy about, I don't know, it was a couple months ago, could have been longer than that ago, but surprised me, came up alongside of me on my left-hand side, and he had his phone up to me like he was videotaping me, trying to trigger me. Okay, and you'll notice this as well, that people are going to try to trigger you on purpose, because when they do this, it lowers your frequency to keep you stuck. They don't want you going through this healing process to wake up. Okay, and the more they keep you stuck, the better. They'll do anything, and sometimes unbelievable things, guys, that you couldn't even imagine. But this guy comes up alongside me in a truck, screaming at me. And he was, I mean, I was in my lane. It was a one-way street. But I was in my lane. I wasn't hugging the line. But when he came up beside me in his truck, he was just screaming at me, trying to videotape me, trying to trigger me. And I'm like, you know, you're a little close to me. He's like, yeah, da, da, da. Just screaming at me. I'm like, I don't know what I did to deserve that, but people will be triggered big time by you if they know and they can tell that you're close to God, if they can see the light within you. And the higher you go, the more you awaken through this great awakening journey of ascension, the more people are going to be triggered by you. And the more they will try to put you in a humiliation ritual. This is part of the path, guys. Unfortunately, this is part of the journey. Because you are triggering them to heal. And they are triggering you to go higher, to heal. It's a back and forth. It's the dark and the light energies working back and forth, and they have to work together. The light and dark energy. You can't have one without the other. Everything is a transfer of energy. But when others are intimidated by you or they get upset over little things like this, it's because they can see your light. They can see how much healing you've done. They haven't done the healing work. And they can get upset. And they'll try to do anything to put you down, to make you feel less than, to put you in a box, to make you feel like you're not worthy, to make you feel like something's wrong with you, to make you feel embarrassed or lonely or isolated, or like you have no friends anywhere around you. Okay, there's so many different situations with this, depending on, what you're dealing with. But I just wanted to bring light to this situation and to what humiliation rituals are. It's not that something's wrong with you. It's not that you're less than they are, okay? It's not that, maybe you did something, I don't know. All I'm saying is that others that are intimidated by your light because they have not done the healing that they need to do within themselves, they might do these things towards you. So you have to realize that, checking the time, you have to realize that this is spiritual. It is not personal. Don't take it personally, even though it's very hard not to. And I know, because a lot of this stuff was done to me when I was not awake. But now that I am awake, I know what it is. And I know how to handle it. I know someone right now that is really trying hard to trigger me. Calling me names. Calling me an old lady. Calling me other things. And unfortunately, there's a lot going on there with this person, and I wish them healing. I mind my own business. I don't get involved in the lives of others' drama or what they're trying to project onto me to keep me stuck, to keep me upset, to try to hurt my feelings for whatever reason, to make them feel better. Okay? If someone is doing these things, it's because that's how they feel about themselves. Because we are a mirror. Everyone in your outside world is a mirror to you. Pay attention to what people are saying, what people are doing towards you. And if it's upsetting you, look within yourself to see what you need to heal, how you need to address things. There's an answer for everything. There are no coincidences. No coincidences in your life. But if somebody's trying to trigger you, and another reason is because they're trying to keep you stuck. They're trying to keep you in the lower self. Because once you do enough healing and you get to your higher self, a lot of these things won't bother you. And you'll just let it go over your shoulder. I can tell you what, though. If I was in my lower self, years ago, I would have been triggered. I would have went off on somebody. I would have had, a few choice words. But for the most part now, guys, I just smile and I walk away. I ignore it. It's a lot easier to do when you've done enough healing within yourself to not let other people bother you and to upset you. But just know that this is probably going to happen. If you're in your healing journey, if you've done a lot of the chakra work, I can guarantee you're going to notice this. You're going to see people watching you, and they're going to watch every move you make sometimes, guys. And sometimes those people can have attachments. They can see your light, and they will be upset by you just walking in a room. This is very real. I've had this my whole life, going through these things. Just walking in a room. And I never understood why I had so many people act differently towards me. I wasn't doing anything most of the time. Had no idea. It happened a lot when I was a child. I was bullied a lot. People didn't like me. I mean, I not only had the girls gang up on me, I had the boys as well. I never understood all these situations throughout my life. It's just amazing to me to look back now and realize all the situations that I was in and what was taking place that I didn't see. Spirit says he's always protected me since I was little, since I was a baby. But in order for us to grow and to evolve and to ascend, we have to sometimes go through these things because it helps us grow stronger, to understand who we are, to be able to handle certain situations in life, to go higher. And when you heal within yourself and you learn about forgiveness towards others, forgive them for they know not what they do, you will understand that this process is more spiritual than it is personal. Because they might not be able to see God. They might not be connected. They might believe in the opposite energy, if you understand what I mean. And they might practice in those energies. So, I just wanted to make this information, I wanted to make you aware of it. And for you not to give up in this process, because it's part of the process. And awareness is key. So awareness on all of this information is key, guys. Because you won't take it to heart. You will realize what they're trying to do. And you won't take it to heart. And you will start to mind your own business and start to recognize the behaviors of others that have not done the healing like you have. And not take it personal. As hard as it is. So now I'm going to tell you how to do this process. And I'm just going to do it quick because I do this on all of my videos. And I know a lot of you are probably tired of hearing it, but so important for the people that have not seen my videos. So this is how I started it. I was outside sitting in a chair, arms and legs not crossed, sitting out in the sun. And you can do this anywhere, guys. It doesn't have to be outside in the sun, but we are part of the sun, okay? The Son of God, S-U-N. Sun is energy. We are electric beings. So important to get outside as much as possible, okay? We're a part of the sun, a person, okay? So you go outside or wherever you're going to sit in a chair, fully relaxed, legs not crossed, close your eyes and meditate. Focus your eyes as they're closed, focus them towards your heart center. And you relive whatever trauma you've had in your life. Okay, you do this one experience at a time. It's going to take you a while to get through this process and to look at each situation that you've dealt with in your life, but you will eventually come to a point where you have healed enough within yourself that you're not triggered, you have peace inside, and you're not angry or all those negative energies. You come to 0 point energy, okay? But you look at your experiences through this meditation, or through meditation. You relive your experience and you cry it out. Okay? Your tears are gold. Your emotions are gold. This is how you release the negative energy off of you. This is very important. If you hold all of that negative energy inside you, it's going to make you sick. Disease. Your body is in dis-ease. Okay, you gotta get rid of the layers. Get rid of the layers, the Shrek layers, the onion layers, like I talk about in Shrek. Get rid of the darkness so you can activate your light, because we are all both. But if you carry more dark energy than light, you can sometimes do things that you don't have control of. You might have entity attachments. You might be working from your ego. And you're not healing enough to live in the good energy, where abundance lives, where things are attracted to you. We don't force, we attract energy. You will attract so much goodness into your life, the heavenly energies. But this is the process of healing that I've done for so many years that has helped me. I can't even tell you. I don't know how I would have gotten through all of my situations, guys, without this process. And it works. So if you know of anyone that needs healing, that is having a hard time healing with whatever they're going through, please share this video. I can guarantee you it's going to help them. And there are so many on this journey right now, the Great Awakening journey. So many that have gone through this process of opening their chakras. Okay, and realizing that you don't have to live in all of that negative energy 24/7. That creates more and more of it. Okay, please start this process. So worth it. Okay, that's it, guys. And just be aware. Sometimes these humiliation rituals can come out of nowhere. And just be prepared to not freak out, to not create karma for yourself. Karma is very real. The energy you put out into the world, it comes back to you multiplied, guys. It's very real. So when these situations happen, stay calm. See it for what it is. And let it go. Stick up for yourself, yes. But do it in a respectful way. And don't create more karma for yourself. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to lower your frequency and to keep you stuck from going higher. To activate more of your light. They don't want you to do that. They definitely don't want you to do that. They don't want you to ascend. That's what so many are doing right now. Okay? So, okay. That's it. This is Kristen from A Voice and a View. Peace, love, and light, guys. Keep healing. Love you all. Bye.